In the lower limb, commonly asked short notes we are going to get are the contents of the popliteal fossa and contents of the we have the femoral triangle, adductor canal. Those all will be commonly asked. So my intention is to cover the most important commonly asked questions that we are going to deal it. So here, first of all, the common 2 marks question sometimes is asked, that is the boundaries forming muscles of the popliteal fossa. And sometime we are going to have the contents of popliteal fossa, what are the structure forming into the roof and all. So that you have to remember. So in the popliteal fossa, it is a diamond-shaped hollow muscular space situated precisely behind the lower end of the femur, knee joint, and upper part of the tibia. So that we are going to call as a popliteal fossa. Popliteal fossa is a diamond-shaped hollow muscular space situated behind the knee joint, precisely that is femoral surface of the femur, knee joint, and upper part of the tibia. That we call as a popliteal fossa definition. So boundaries you have to remember. We have the one thing you have to remember. It has a boundaries like a superior laterally, superior medially, and we have inferior laterally and inferior medially. So one you have to perfectly remember superior laterally by the biceps femoris. That you have to remember. So in this superior laterally by the biceps femoris, superior medially by the semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and inferior laterally by the plantaris and lateral head of gastrocnemius, and inferior medially medial head of gastrocnemius. So you have to know about the all these 4 muscles which are forming the boundary. So afterwards you have the total next that is comes that is about the root structure, and root structure whatever they are forming the skin superficial fascia and deep fascia. We call deep fascia as a popliteal fascia that covers the popliteal fossa, and almost all the structures which are forming the that is the uh, roof structures are the first most important one vein, that is the short saphenous vein, sural vein. Then we are going to get posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh, and this is the posterior division of medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. Posterior, medial, sural nerve, and we have the short saphenous vein. They are the roof structures of the totally, that is whatever the floor of the popliteal fossa is formed by the, we are having the structure like a first one popliteal surface of the femur. This is the popliteal surface of the femur. Second one capsule of the knee joint, and we have the fascia covering the popliteus muscle. This popliteus muscle fascia covering the popliteus muscle, capsule of the knee joint, and we have the popliteal surface of the femur. Those all are the totally, that is the floor structures of the popliteal fossa. Next important you have to remember about the content of the popliteal fossa. Sometime question you may have the questions like ask, that is what are the name the structures which are making the contents of the popliteal fossa. How we remembered should not confused with the popliteal fossa. We by chance we write the femoral artery, femoral vein, femoral nerve. So don't make mistake here. Here femoral artery continuing, that is the, we have the popliteal artery, popliteal vein, and we have the tibial nerve, and one more nerve we get, that is the common peroneal nerve. So this is a common peroneal nerve, and this is a tibial nerve, then popliteal artery and popliteal vein, and they are giving the branches here. So popliteal artery gives branches here: lateral superior genicular artery, medial superior genicular artery, lateral inferior genicular artery, medial inferior genicular artery, medial genicular artery. So these all are the branches of the popliteal fossa at the we are going to get the knee region. So sometime question is asked anastomosis around the knee joint. That time also you have to write it. Then what are the relations of the contents of the popliteal fossa? Here from the in the upper part we can divide middle part and lower part. In the upper part we are going to from lateral to the medial side AVN, artery, vein and nerve. Middle part from superior to the deeper we are going to have the superior to the deeper we have nerve, vein and artery. Then in the lower part we are going to have the from lateral to medial side nerve, vein and artery. So popliteal artery, popliteal vein and tibial nerve, that relations you have to remember in the popliteal fossa. So this is all about the popliteal fossa and its relations. Next we are going to go for the that is the other part which is you have to remember that is the in the relations that you have to see the total. So this is one which is contents you have to remember, and in that you have to know for the other diagrams also. This branches of the tibial nerve and all shown. This is we have studied all these, and one more which is great saphenous vein. Commonly it is asked a question great saphenous vein, that also you should know. Okay. So in this, we have covered the popliteal fossa and its definition, boundaries, roof, floor, and contents and its relations. So this is all about the totally we have studied about the uh, popliteal fossa. So in the next lower limb, we have to remember in this that is the other questions like nerves and joints. So when we see the uh, total one that is the nerves, very important which we are going to call here, that is the we get like a femoral nerve and all. So most important nerve is short notes is asked about the obturator nerve and all. So in this you have to know. So whatever the femoral nerve is the main nerve of the front of the thigh region. It supplies the front of thigh muscles. So you have to know about it is formed by the lumbar vertebrae L2, L3, L4 and forming the trunk, main trunk, and it runs about the course below the inguinal ligament. And it is giving anterior branch and posterior branch. So anterior, they are giving the many branches. So you have to know about the relations of the femoral nerve like artery, vein and nerve. You have to know relations. That is, you have to remember about the relations in the femoral triangle in the adductor canal. So that you have to know about the almost all. So here, femoral nerve is the main nerve of the front of thigh region, which is lies lateral to the femoral artery and femoral vein. First, it passes into the femoral triangle below the inguinal ligament. It runs about 2 centimeter, 2 to 4 centimeter below the inguinal ligament, and it divides into anterior branch, posterior branch. So that you have to remember. Then I have told the all nerves you should know about the its branches. So branches you have to know muscular branch, vascular branch, articular branch, cutaneous branch. Those you have to study here. This is the one nerve which is commonly asked, that is the obturator nerve. So this is a nerve which is supplies the almost all the medial compartment of the thigh. Medial compartment of the thigh, which is consist of the all the adductor group of muscle including gracilis. So adductor longus, brevis, magnus, and gracilis. They all including pectineus. So pectineus, adductor longus, adductor brevis, gracilis, and this is adductor magnus, and one obturator externus. So all these nerves will be supplied by the obturator nerve. So these two diagrams are very important when the obturator nerve is asked, because more commonly the obturator nerve is asked, that you should know. So just now I have covered the main content of the popliteal fossa is tibial nerve. So you know the tibial nerve relations in the popliteal fossa and in the leg, that you have to properly you have to study. So it giving the many branches to the all muscular branches are named. So medial head of gastrocnemius plantaris, lateral head of gastrocnemius at the near around the even popliteal artery. Tibial nerve gives vascular branch to the popliteal artery, then muscular branch to the medial head of gastrocnemius, plantaris, lateral head of gastrocnemius, all. In the leg, where we have the soleus, flexure digitorum longus, tibialis posterior, flexure hallucis longus, and sural nerve. So that is in the leg. In the sole, all the sole muscles, majority of the sole muscle which are supplied by the tibial nerve. This is very important about. Next important nerve comes about the sciatic nerve. This is a long question, 10 marks it is commonly asked. So that now you should understand I am covering side by side question number 4 also. That is you have to remember how to write the 10 marks question. So here we have know the sciatic nerve. It is the thickest nerve of the body, and which is 2 centimeter maximum thickness. It may be there at the beginning. So that is very important. You should know. Then what is the origin? Sciatic notch is greater sciatic notch is there from the pelvis. It is arising. Then sciatic foramen, sciatic notch. It is entering into the gluteal region. Then back of thigh. Then it is at the superior angle of the popliteal fossa. It divides into a tibial and common peroneal. That you have to know. Relations at the greater sciatic notch, gluteal region, and we have the here that is in the back of the thigh and at the region of the popliteal fossa, you should know. So here sciatic nerve is very important. Clinical anatomy like sciatica, foot drop, slipping foot, all these you have to write in the clinical anatomy of the sciatic nerve. It is commonly asked for the, that is a 10 marks question. You should know the relations also and what are the branches. So this is all about the, you have to know about the in the sciatic nerve. Then next comes about the we are studying, that is the about the other nerves which we are going to have most commonly. In this, you have to know the relations with the hip joint and all, that you have to know. That is shown you here, and that you have to know sciatic nerve. It's you have the landmarks and the surface marking of the sciatic nerve, that it is here in the sciatic nerve, how it is crossed by the gluteus maximus, then it is obliquely crossed by the, that is the biceps femoris. That all will be related to the sciatic nerve. This is very important. You have to know about the sciatic nerve. So sciatic nerve landmark, you know how it is related with the tibial nerve in the that part, that is the common peroneal part and tibial part. So we are going to have the where the nerve divides at the superior angle, tibial and common peroneal. So those parts we are going to have the separately. So that you have to remember. So this is all about the sciatic nerve. When you see the total sciatic nerve, it is at the greater sciatic notch running on the back of the gluteal region, back of thigh, and superior angle of the popliteal fossa. This will be divided into a anterior tibial and tibial nerve and common peroneal. That is you have to know. So these are the common almost all question in the nerves asked. So it is a what picture which is shows, that is the pelvic region. L4, L5, S1, S2, S3 are causing, that is the totally root values of the sciatic nerve. And here you have the total tibial nerve which is supplied almost all, I have told the nerves which is there, and common peroneal components, short head of biceps, that is almost all supplied. So with this, you should know the what is the sciatic nerve. You have to tell it is which compartment it is comes and which muscles back of the thigh, hamstring muscle are supplied. Superior angle of the popliteal fossa, it divides into tibial and common peroneal. One more, we have the sciatic bed in obturator internus, externus, and gemellus superior, inferior. All they form the sciatic bed. That also you have to remember. So this is all about the sciatic nerve, tibial nerve, common peroneal nerve, and obturator nerve. So this is one of the important nerve we have covered. Next comes about the that is the comes part which is remains after this. We have the joints. So sometimes question is asked about the that is the what are the you are going to get common joints, which is you have the hip joint and knee joint and all ankle joint. You have to know first properly. So that will be a very important thing to remember about the joints. So here almost all joints we are going to separately study. So before that, I will one more short question, short notes commonly asked about the arches of the foot. So arches of the foot you have here commonly asked that in this you have to know the arches of foot. What is the arch? You have to know it is a dome or the curve. So arch means it is a bend. So these all are meant in the foot. So these all are the spring-like activities which are present in the foot region. We are going to call as in a, those are the arches of foot. We have the total arches which we can, you have to tell the arches of foot. These are the arches of foot. These are the which spring-like activities, movements taking place at the foot region, those we call as an arches. And whatever this dome-shaped, curved arches are maintained in the sole due to the presence of its spring-like activities, and it is maintained by many factors which are there. They will also maintain the arches. So here arches are designed, the arches are the these are the platforms like whole body weight is there that is carried on the sole region, and they are distributed to the weight bearing points. So weight bearing points, you have balls of the weight bearing points of the heel, great toe, and ball of the little toe. And these all are the three we have the that is the weight bearing points of the sole. So what you should know, the arches of foot in this you have to remember the foot has to act as a pliable platform to support the body weight during walking, running, and jumping. To meet all these requirements in the sole, that is done by the arches are maintained by the bones, ligament, muscles, all they will maintain the arches. So that you have to remember. We classify the arches are present since from birth. They are masked by the fat deposition in at first 6 months of birth. So you have to remember in children also arches are present, but foot appears flat. So that you have to tell that is the arches are also there, but more deposition of fat in the sole. Children's they are not seen. Dome curved shape, that is we call as an arch, and these arches will be helping for the propel the body forward during walking, running, and jumping. So that is these are arches are very important to person to during running, walking, jumping. So that is to meet all these requirements, the human foot is designed in the form of arches. That you have to tell. Arches of foot in this you have to tell in this that is you have to tell it is divided mainly to longitudinal arches and transverse arches. So longitudinal arch again subdivided into medial longitudinal arch, lateral longitudinal arch. Transverse arches are anterior complete and posterior incomplete. Those you can remember. Here you can remember all arches, one which is medial longitudinal arch and lateral longitudinal arch. So medial longitudinal arch, which is you should know, that is you have to remember about the almost all the arches, the functions of arches you have to remember. Most important functions are they acts like a shock absorber and they propel the body forward during walking, running and jumping, and also prevents the pressure on the pressure on the that is the main structures on the almost all in the soul, prevent the compression of the nerves and all, so that you have to tell. Hmm? So this is all about the arches you have to know. Medial longitudinal arch, you have to tell about the what are the pillars, what are the ends you have, and that all will be included here. So in the arches, in the short notes asked means one arch is asked, either medial longitudinal or lateral longitudinal. Sometimes it is asked about the arches of foot. So that time also you should able to write. So one thing once again remember, this is a foot. We have all the bones, tarsal bones, metatarsal bone. Phalanges are not making any part in these phalanges does not take part in the formation of the arch. Okay. So seven tarsal bone and five metatarsal bones, they are present. They are taking part in the formation of the arches. So that the totally this is a longitudinal, medial longitudinal arch and this is a lateral longitudinal arch. We have anterior transverse and posterior transverse arch. That is about the arches of foot that you have to know. Next comes about the all these dome shape maintained by the we are having to have the like all engineering style, the constructing building. This body is built up by the god as a he is a super engineer who built up into the form of many things, like engineers using now techniques like we have keystones, like this will be the uppermost end of that, and that is supported hanged by the slings. Uppermost top part is hanged, that we call as the slings. The muscle tendons and all will act like a sling. Keystones will be the bone, tarsal bone, and each bones which are there, they are connected by the intersegmental ties and one-to-one connection from the each end to other end by the beams, so tie beams. So one muscle tendon which is entering from the one end to the another end, that is we call it a tie beam. Each small part bones connected each other, intersegmental tie. Main supporting uppermost part, keystone, slings, they are hanged by the uppermost part, that is we call as the slings. So these all factors you have to remember in the maintenance of the arches. That is very important. So here you can see this is will short plantar ligament will act like intersegmental tie in between the bones. We have here also we have the long plantar ligaments. They are connecting and maintaining the arch. Then sling, we are going to get tendons which are there of peroneus brevis, peroneus longus. They are totally holding the upper part of the arches and they are hanged like that, you have to know. Here also you can see the almost all the how the arch is maintained. We have the spring ligament and medial cuneiform and all you have to remember. And here also we tibialis anterior and flexure hallucis longus, they are also supporting. So these all factors responsible for maintaining the arches of foot. In this, you have to know the all factors like what are the tie beams, what are the slings, what are the connecting parts which are tendons maintaining the totally the arches of foot. So this is all you have to know uh, in the arches of foot. So one thing which is I have told about the medial longitudinal. Commonly question is asked about the short notes medial longitudinal arch. In the medial longitudinal arch, you have to remember this is the pillars it is having anterior pillar, posterior pillar. So anterior pillar is formed by the we have the first, second, third metatarsal bones we are going to have, and three cuneiform, and we are going to get the talus. So in the lower part, that is medial half of the calcaneum is formed by the medial pillar, that is a posterior medial longitudinal arch. Anterior pillars are these three metatarsal, first and second, third, and three cuneiform and navicular. Then we have the medial half of the calcaneum that is there, that is about the posterior pillar. Then you have to remember about the pillars. Then we have the afterwards, that is the ends of the heads of the first, second, third metatarsal bone and medial tubercle of the calcaneum, that is about the posterior end. So pillars and ends we are going to have here. Then main joint in this arch is that is talocalcaneo-navicular joint. This is the talus calcaneus navicular joint. So this is about the pillars, anterior pillar, posterior pillar. Then we have the ends, anterior ends and posterior end, and main joint that you have to remember. So this is all about the you have to know about in the that is about in the um, arches of foot. Like a lateral longitudinal arch, you have to tell anterior pillar formed by the fourth and fifth metatarsal. We have the here, and we have the cuboid bone. Then posterior pillar is lateral half of the calcaneum. So anterior end is formed by the four heads of fourth and fifth metatarsal and lateral tubercle of calcaneum. So that all will be remembered. So this is you have to remember about the total one. And medial longitudinal arch summit is we have the totally that is the upper part of the superior surface of calcaneum. Laterally we have the that is the upper part of the calcaneum, and medially we have the talus, that is that you have to remember. So going to the next one, transverse one, anterior transverse arch, posterior transverse arch. Anterior transverse arch is complete because head of first metatarsal and fifth metatarsal touches the ground, whereas posteriorly only lateral part of the sole is touches and medial part is not there on the posteriorly, not touching the ground, so that posterior transverse arch is incomplete. That you have to remember. So with this, we have covered almost all the arches of foot and all. So classification you should remember. I have told anterior complete, posterior incomplete. Posterior incomplete, it is complete with the mixing with the its opposite counterpart. That is the comparing to the other leg. Anterior is complete because head of first and fifth metatarsal touching the ground. So that is you have to know about the in the total arches of foot. So with this, I have covered the almost all short notes. One thing you have to know about the totally that is the short saphenous vein and great saphenous vein. Great saphenous vein also it is commonly asked in the short notes. So with this I have covered about maximum 20 plus short notes like what are the hamstring muscle, obturator nerve, adductor canal, dorsalis pedis artery, sartorius muscle, anterior tibial artery, longitudinal arch of foot, soleus muscle, I have studied last lecture. Gluteus maximus, you have to origin insertion. Femoral sheath, common peroneal nerve, ligaments of hip joint, we are going to study in the long question. Facial arta, I have told, tendocalcaneus and tibialis anterior, gyro, Ligaments of ankle joint, we are going to study in the 10 marks. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, inversion, eversion. Dorsiflexion is, we have to remember, foot, forefoot is raised and leg and foot angle is reduced. That is a dorsiflexion. Forefoot is depressed, leg and dorsum of foot angle is increased. That is a plantar flexion. Inversion, sole facing inside. Inversion, sole facing outside. Eversion, inversion, eversion. That also you should know. Iliotibial tract I have told. Ligamentum patellae also I have told. So with this, we are covered the almost all the short notes of the lower extremity. Same questions may be asked for the 10 marks long question. That also you have to remember. Except few questions you have to joints and all sciatic nerve and tibial nerve and one artery may be asked as a in the long question 10 marks. So that is very important. So with this, we have covered the maximum questions of the lower extremity in the short notes section. So with this, I am concluding almost all the lecture. But whatever the you have to remember, in this almost all the lower limb, we have almost all, I have shown the diagrams and all you have to practice. So with the diagrams and all, you can explain very well. So completing the all lower limb. Already I have shown you the almost all the notes also I have given you and everything. That is very important to refer. That is one which is there. So 10 marks question and other knee joint and all you have to remember. So one more which is we can get, that is the one which is you are going to study about the, that is the knee joint and all in the next lecture. So any questions, doubt in the lower limb, please ask in the short notes section. Study great supinous and short supinous. I have told great supinous, short supinous very properly I have shown. So that is you have to remember. So anything you want to ask, please raise the hand. I can explain you. So that is you have to remember about the all the topics which are I have told. And one more here you have to remember about the great saphenous vein. With this diagram I have already shown you in the my lecture. Great saphenous vein, we have to tell medial end of the dorsal venous arch. It begins, runs upwards in front of passing medial malleolus, runs along the medial border of the leg, passes behind the knee joint, inclines forwards in the front of thigh region, and opens into the, that is the saphenous opening of the femoral vein. So that you have to remember about the great dorsal venous arch you have to remember. So dorsal venous arch and all you have to know about. So that is all, and we have the about 16 to 20 walls inside the all great longest vein of the body, that is the great saphenous vein. So commonly asked this diagram, and you have to know about the course of the great saphenous vein, and you have to tell about the clinical anatomy like varicose veins. Okay. Lengthened, tortuous, and dilated veins we call as a, that is the varicose veins, and it is due to the incompetence of the valves of the present in the vein, that you have to know. So this is all I have covered in the total short saphenous vein. Lateral dorsal venous, that is we have the lateral end of the dorsal venous arch. It passes behind the, we have the, that is the lateral malleolus, runs in the middle of the leg and opens into the popliteal vein at the popliteal fossa. So lying lateral to the tendocalcaneus, middle of the leg region, it lies. That you have to remember about the small saphenous vein or the short saphenous vein. So just now we have studied the long saphenous vein or great saphenous vein. Now I have explained the small saphenous vein or the short saphenous vein. These all you have to know about the total. Here you can see the tracing of the great saphenous vein. That is you have to know. So hardly 1 minute is remains. So I hope that is we have covered the major part of the total lower extremity. So study all this. Studying the upper limb, lower limb is very important because weightage of the upper limb is 60 marks and weightage of the lower limb is 40 marks. Means total 100 marks. So if you studying these perfectly, you can score nearly 80 marks here. Then you study 220 marks questions like in the first paper, second paper, one joint, 2020. And with that, you can score easily 120 marks, easily 20 marks we have to leave, but you can appearing only 140 marks and you can pass it. Means studying the abdominal organ, one long question, joints, three joints, one question, upper limb, lower limb, all questions. Studying this much only, you can pass anatomy very easily. So with this last moment, so I am concluding my lecture today's with the completion of that is the lower limb short notes. So study these all, keep studying continuously. All don't neglect the subject anatomy and physiology and pharmacy because you have to concentrate. Giving this exam only, then only you can go to the second year. But now only attend the second year lecture, but concentrate and study of these three subjects. Okay. So this is all about the today's my lecture.